Welcome to Search Talk Live with search engine optimization and marketing experts Robert O'Haver and Caleb McKelvin, powered by the Robert Palmer family of companies.
Welcome back to another episode of Search Talk Live. I'm your host, Robert O'Haver. With me is my other host, Caleb McKelvin. Caleb.
What's going on, Robert?
Not much, man.
Oh, man, I'm excited for today. We got an awesome show, man. It's always good to be here on Tuesday. Tuesdays at 3:30. It's my favorite time of the week.
Yeah.
I love it.
I want to mention, you looks like you're going to be having a baby on Friday.
Yeah. So,
not you, but your wife.
Yeah, not me. But that is the tentative plan for right now. We are really excited. We'll be welcoming our first child, a baby girl, into the world on Friday. So I'm extremely excited. That just means I won't be here next week.
Yeah.
So you won't hear my beautiful voice on the radio next week, but I'll be back. I promise you.
All right, those of you just tuning in for the first time at Search Talk Live, we are on every Tuesday from 3:30 to 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. We talk about social media. We talk about search engine optimization. We talk about conversion optimization, website development, UX or user experience. You name it. If it's digital marketing, we talk about it. Paid search.
Yep, absolutely. We got an episode for everything, man.
Yeah,
SearchTalkLive.com. Go to it. Check it out. You will find something for you. I guarantee it.
Yeah, and be sure and sign up for our newsletter. It's free. We don't try to sell you anything or anything. Most of the time, we're giving away stuff. We have guests that come on. In fact, we have Stephen Spencer, who will be on.
He gave away something last time.
Yeah, he did. He gave away a book for free, and he's the author of The Art of SEO, which is a huge book in the industry.
Yeah.
But if you would go to the site, you can searchtalklive.com. You can listen to previous episodes. You can download them. You can put them on. You can go to iTunes and listen to them there. Or if you're in the United States, you can go to iHeartRadio, which is it's broadcasted nationally.
Right.
So today we're talking social media.
Hot topic.
Yes, and we have got an expert with us today. We have Olga Andrienko, social media expert and the head of social media at SEMRush. Olga, how are you?
Hi, guys. Thanks for inviting me.
Yes.
And it's an honor to be here. Thank you so much.
It is so great to have you.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. We knew we had to have you on the show when we wanted to talk social media, and so thank you for joining us. If you could, Olga, just for our audience, if you don't mind kind of introducing yourself, what you do and what you're all about.
Sure. So I've been in marketing for quite a while, and I have a marketing background. I studied it at the uni, and then I always combined sales and marketing together in all of the jobs that I took. And then how I ended up at SEMRush miraculously. And it was like a social media story about a social media job, but that would take us quite some time to tell, so just skip that. But so before SEMRush, I knew how to measure what I was doing, and then suddenly, and I integrated everything sales marketing, and that marketing meaning like email, website, social, and some campaigns, and then I suddenly ended up in social and been doing that for 3 years already. So that's where I come from, and I really enjoy that. And actually, marketing for marketers, that's an exciting thing.
Yeah, and social media is a big pain point for a lot of people, so we like to talk about it quite a bit. And I want to get your unique perspective on everything, and I know you're well known in social media circles, being with SEMRush, and special shout out to SEMRush too for helping to promote the show. And
it helped out a lot.
And, we appreciate that. But I want to get into some of the strategies you have, and I really love your strategies that you use with SEMRush, like the Twitter or the chats.
Yes.
Those are awesome, and I think they create so much engagement, and I think that's something that not a lot of people utilize, and I think it's so valuable. I mean, to create that engagement with people and getting more people to tune into what you have, people are saying.
Right.
So they follow you more. And I think that's a great strategy.
I'd say that Twitter chats are now already mainstream, but well, there are things that actually differentiated our Twitter chat from all the rest, and actually our growth that I've seen, it was a lot quicker than most of the chats that were in the industry back then. But basically, well, as I mentioned, I come from marketing and sales, like conversion marketing.
Yeah.
So when I actually SEMRush didn't even know what they were getting when they hired me, and because they thought that, okay, we need a girl that would be posting something on our pages, and well, just someone and interacting with the audience.
Sure.
But I actually the thing that I don't like most of all is posting. So someone else on our team does that, and I was all about the real time engagement, and I went to great length to just find people online, just discover what they were talking about, and see what they checked, what they were, what their perception of the brand was. And I started the conversations. So I was more of a relationship marketing expert, and I used social media as a tool. So I wasn't really into social media marketing. I was just in relationship marketing and using the channel I was given. So my approach to social media is a bit different than probably a lot of marketers out there. And I invested a lot of my time. It's just like, it's a routine work, and then you just monitor it all the time, and it just eventually pays off. So basically what I was doing, it was influence marketing. And by the time when and I focused on Twitter because it was you can search anything on Twitter, and that's why I used this channel. So it was so easy, and I needed the channel where I could tag people and I could address them personally. And that was also Twitter. So once we grew to 7,000 people, I thought that, okay, there is something missing, and I realized that we just had a following. So we had a decent following, a decent engagement, but we didn't have the community. And what really changed it was the Twitter chat, because I also, you can obviously hear it from my voice. I'm not a native speaker, and also Olga Andrienko is kind of a name that gives that away. And so I thought, okay, I was not sure that I could host a hangout on air by then. So I needed, when I type, you cannot really distinguish the non-native speaker. And so that's why I decided I want to have it in written form. And Twitter was the channel. So that was purely the channel that we used, and the community that we built was basically built on my own opportunities and what I felt I was best at.
Nice.
Very nice. Well, I mean, going down that avenue of the Twitter chats is something that I've participated in, the SEMRush chat. I think they're great. Some other chats that go on, I would handle content for a financial company, participating in the Experian, their credit chat, which was great. It seems to be the ones that I found are more kind of B2B facing. Would it be beneficial for, say, a company providing consumer-facing products or service? Is that something that they could incorporate into their social media that would be effective and possibly build their community, drive sales, and increase that engagement?
That all depends on where the audience is. So if they're on Twitter, then they should use it. If they feel that, Facebook might work better for them and their audience is there, then there is no need to use Twitter. That's first of all. And then also I love the story about two hair color companies, Clairol and L'Oreal, that just had two different brand managers with two different
voices,
approaches. And then and the branding and the brand strategy that brands had was all built on the abilities of these two brand managers. And then because I'm worth it phrase was the phrase that the brand manager of L'Oreal she spitted it out on one of the brainstorming sessions. And as I mentioned also that I built our Twitter chats because I felt that I was most comfortable at doing this in this style. So I believe that it all depends on the people who are behind the brand. And if the person is comfortable with broadcasting and showing their face and then interacting with the audience, then probably Twitter chat would not work. But if a person is more of a, for example, I'm not the introvert, but if the person is introvert and he's more comfortable behind the brand and he likes to write more than speak, then definitely, Twitter chat would be way forward compared to some webinars or Facebook Live or Periscope or Snapchat, because this all depends on the personality of your employees. Because in the end of the day, they matter more and they build the brand for you.
It also depends too on who's your market, who are you advertising to, or who you
for sure. That's number one. And then you have to apply this to also the abilities of your employees. You
can't a lot of people make the mistake of trying to be on all the social media platforms and all the and it's just impossible. There's no way.
Well, speaking to that, this question for you, Olga, is I think we have a large group of listeners that may be small business owners or startups or, trying to get a product off the ground. And maybe they don't have, they have all these social media channels with nothing, no following, very little engagement. How can they take a step back? Where can they find out where their audience, where their audience is, what they're engaging with, and which channels they really need to focus on?
Well, obviously, I'd say the first go-to tool would be Google Analytics. So I'd recommend checking their audience reports and just defining the demographics. And then there is the channel and the traffic reports that has the social part. And then they can check where the traffic comes from. So whether it's if it's Facebook, that not on top of the list, then obviously you might guess that people from Facebook, they somehow Facebook is most popular.
Sure.
It's not 100% accurate, but still, if you haven't done anything on social and then you see that the traffic comes mainly from Facebook, then you have to try Facebook.
Right.
And then if suddenly it comes from most of the traffic comes from YouTube, then obviously your channel there works pretty well. And so it just Google Analytics would be a free tool that defines a lot. And the tip that, I checked what our competitors were doing. I never mirrored it, or I never really did something like what they were doing. I again applied it to a bit different because I feel that we had to apply to our competitive edge. And but still, it's a good thing to know. It's a good thing to see what the good things that they do and the mistakes that you see, and just go from there. And if all your competitors are on Twitter and they're interacting a lot with the audience, then obviously, your audience somehow match, and then you might want to look at this channel.
Right. That's good. That's good advice. I mean, what I was getting at is you want to focus on the main ones where you find out who your demographic is. Obviously, Facebook, pretty much everybody's on Facebook.
Yeah.
But when you get into like Twitter or LinkedIn, which is LinkedIn is more of a B2B type of scenario.
Right.
You've got to stand back and are you advertising to 19 to 25? Then maybe Instagram is your place to go, or something like that. But
for B2C brand, Instagram is just a great place, even for B2B already. It's just and I believe that we'll be seeing more. And I see a lot of ads, and actually some of them they're really working. And it's a great place for everyone. So Facebook actually does a great job. My day starts with all the Facebook offers. So my Facebook Messenger is my second email, and there's literally business conversations there.
Yeah.
I rarely have non-business conversations Facebook with my friends. And then the WhatsApp, and then obviously I go to Facebook and I check the updates, and then I go to Instagram. So actually Facebook has done a really great job just to glue me to them. Nice. And I'm B2B. And well, it's like I don't actually follow a lot of like brands that I'm buying something from. I am using this as a B2B space.
You know, the only beef I have with Facebook is the 25% rule on images. You know, I can't stand that. It drives me crazy. Like I want to put so much in the image that I can't put it in there. Anyway, sorry to go off on a tangent there, but what would your advice be? I mean, Facebook for a lot of businesses is a pain point because they don't understand how to grow it. I mean, not just on a paid way, the paid version, but organically, like, you know, getting more people to like the pages and stuff. What is your approach there? Advice?
We're to be honest, we're now not satisfied with our Facebook page and with our Facebook approach, and we're redefining it at the moment. And what I see we should be doing more, and what I'm trying to spend my time on, is that people pay attention to you if you spend time on their place or in their space.
Yeah.
And so now Facebook has this great option of posting comments from a brand on the different pages. You just have to click like below the picture of the post on the right corner. You can click on either your profile picture, or if you click on this, it drops down all the pages that you're admin of, and then you can choose this page and send a comment below the post. And of course, it's not possible to do that on the personal profiles, but on the pages you can do that. So you kind of can hack the audience of others.
Yeah.
And so we'll be doing this more, because I believe, how we actually build community not only with Twitter but with Google Plus, and that's because I just felt also I was going from page to page, and then I was commenting there, I was thanking for the share, I was just being I was just communicating, and I was not spending time in my own home, meaning the page. I was just traveling, and then people loved that. People loved that when you spend time.
Yeah, take that extra second to leave a comment.
Yeah. So that would be our approach, I'd say, and I that would be really awesome if more brands would do that, because everyone's just spends time on their own premises, and just the best they can do is that they can check notifications and private messages.
Yeah, and the thing is too is other people see that, so they're more apt to like your
communicate.
Page as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, I mean, speaking of Facebook, one of the things I see a lot of people utilizing, especially some brands, is Facebook Live. And I think it's a really cool concept. Even individuals are doing it with their friends, companies are doing it. How can they kind of take the best advantage in that and incorporate it in their Facebook and social media strategy to reach their audience or increase that engagement?
Well, it depends on what they're offering, but video content is huge, and then I'm just being obvious here. And I'd say that, Facebook Live feature is great because it's new to Facebook. Well, Facebook just launched it this year. And they are giving it extra boost when you go live. Then Facebook tends to show it more to your followers.
Yeah.
And that's a great thing, because there are a lot of silent followers. They just don't see anything that you're posting because of the Facebook algorithm. Yeah. And then once you go live, then Facebook just sends notifications to your followers. That's first. And then it also offers you the boost option. We actually never tried it, but once you have couple of thousand people reached, then, well, why not to try it? And I believe that we'll be trying that pretty soon.
Yeah, I've actually got a lot of experience with that. The cost per click is, I mean, we've seen 3 cents.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. You can't get that anywhere.
Yes. So that's awesome, and that's again a bit. Well, you have to put the right people in front of the camera, because if people are not feeling comfortable, then that would not be well, great outcome. But well, it can be anything, and we're utilizing that during conferences.
Yeah,
and we're giving extra visibility to the speakers that we're friends with.
Mm-hmm.
So at the conference, I was just sitting and live streaming from Dawn Anderson's speech about AMP pages. And so it's just, we feel that this content might be relevant for our audience. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, we're just also strengthening the relationship with the speaker that we basically love anyway. And so I believe that this is one of the ways that to use this, even if you're not comfortable with doing the live yourself. So it's just like showing, well, being at event and relevant to your audience, and just sharing something that they would be genuinely interested in. And also, I love what Joel Comm is doing with his 5 top tips on anything. Mm-hmm. And he just also he just plugs in and basically shares his thoughts, and then shares his desktop. Recently, he just shared the computer game that he was playing, and then invited his audience to play with him, and then just explain how the game works. And so there are pretty cool tools that you can use along with the Facebook Live.
Yeah.
What also people can do, and I saw Guy Kawasaki do this,
Mm-hmm.
he just put the phone in front of his monitor, and then he started sharing some tips about using Canva, and what he just increased engagement and gave more visibility to his content. He on top of just on top of doing the webinar, he just also live streamed it. So it's just 2 channels right there. That's also a cool thing to do.
Very cool.
Yeah, and a lot of people think that you have to have a high production value. I mean, you don't have. Really. You can use your cell phone.
I mean, it's raw, and people like that kind of thing. So.
Well, if you have iPhone 5, that won't work. The quality of the camera is not good. But with iPhone 6 or with the Galaxy S7, and I have iPhone SE. The smaller one, and the camera is good, and then the phone works better. But just it's a great thing. You can do this with the phone and the photos and the videos, and so it's definitely enough. And also with the phone, no matter if you have iPhone or Android, there are a lot of video apps that also take now a lot of my time when I test them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to do pause for station identification. No,
go ahead.
So if you're tuning in, you're listening to Search Talk Live with hosts Robert O'Haver and Caleb McKelvin. We are powered by the Robert Palmer family of companies. You can go to robertpalmercompanies.com. Check out everything they have to offer there. Some really cool stuff. So I highly advise you do that, robertpalmercompanies.com. If you'd like to get your questions in today, we are joined with the head of social at SEMRush, Olga Andrienko. If you'd like to get your questions on social media for your business, you can do so by hitting us up at Twitter at Search Talk Live. You can use the hashtag Search Talk Live, or you can email us Robert at searchtalklive.com or Caleb at searchtalklive.com and get your questions in for today's show.
Yeah. So Olga, what is like your pain point as far as because it takes a lot, like the Twitter chats you were talking about.
Yes,
it takes a lot to put that together, I imagine, because, I hate to say it, but I'm one of the guys that you kept contacting, and I kept like, I'll be there, and to not show up.
Yeah. I've done that a couple of
Yes.
times, I hate
Schedule
to
just-
say.
Crazy, but I've done a few, and I really like them. The engagement is fantastic, and every time I get into it, I get more followers, and
Yeah.
you guys get more followers. I mean, I think it's win-win all the way around. I love the approach.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time, but it just it grew gradually. But in 6 months after we started, we saw that like 400% growth in engagement,
Wow.
and
That's huge.
also the Twitter chat recaps that we were doing, they were shared twice as much as the average.
Yeah.
So actually, it just really paid off, and it was a crucial point from going to following from audience to the community, and I believe that the reason why people keep coming every week is because they feel that we care.
Yeah.
And I do genuinely care, and I'm always on Twitter. I'm just, whenever I can, I go there and I respond to questions personally, and it's just I got a lot of responses I was really showing that the only thing that I wanted was to bring people together, and that's why I always prefer. When I'm at the conferences, I prefer not speaking, but just being around people and just connecting to them or connecting them together. And I felt that giving the space for people to share their knowledge was the best I can do, because by that time I wasn't an expert myself. I wouldn't say that I'm an expert like now, but I'm doing my best to be. And
I love it. You're very humble.
Yeah.
I think that the people that do not know any. There is a phrase that people who do not know anything, they actually feel that they know everything, and people who know something, they feel that they know nothing. So I'd say that I have a long way to go, and there's no end of the road in getting to know things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's with Twitter chats, it was just it took a lot of my time, and with inviting guests, and also just Twitter chats, how it goes behind the scenes. It was crazy. It was only two of us, and we were yelling like crazy because, like, hey, have you greeted this person, or have you greeted that person? And then also, I felt like there was a moment when I realized that people were sharing their knowledge, but they wanted to interact, or they wanted to know what others were sharing, and it was my job to collect this all and process real fast. And that's why we started this real-time recaps after each question.
Wow.
So we process around 1,000 tweets within an hour.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then we collect, like, for each question, we collect the best tips that were shared, and we share real-time recap after it. So, like, 10 minutes for a question. During this 10 minutes, we collect the best answers, and then we just sum it all up in one tweet. And so it was one thing actually that really made an impact, but also what made an impact was me being a bit nerdy with the tools. I love follower one, and big shout out to Moz for building such an awesome tool.
Yeah.
And so there is in a paid version, there is an export function, so you can export all of your audience, and Excel is the best tool ever. And there is a lot more graphs, and there's a lot more columns that you can check there. And the first one, it's just you can see when the person followed you, or when you followed the person, where he lives or she lives, and then the bio and how many tweets, or the social authority, like a lot of stuff. And so let's say we'll have the chat about, like, site audit or like SEO audit, and then I would filter this by people who are following us and we followed these people, like
Yeah.
so that it was mutual. And then I wanted people to filter people who only tweeted within a month, within last month, and then I also wanted to filter people who only were in UK, so I could invite them in their own local time. And I filtered the bio by the words SEO or search.
Yeah.
And that gave me like a really, really relevant audience who already knew us.
Wow, check you out.
Oh, getting that data.
It's a data geek
I'm
just like
telling you,
us.
I like it.
And then I just we compiled these like people in the tweets, and then like we created tweets with 2 or 3 Twitter handles saying like, "Hey, please share your SEO audit tips." So we assumed that they were experts in this. And so when a person is addressed like that, so they were not invited to join just to listen.
Yeah.
They invited to contribute. They react differently. And then because we were inviting like 2 or 3 people at once, if someone says, "Hey, I'll be there," then you get the social proof for the other 2.
Yeah.
So that's how we were inviting the experts.
That's awesome. Well,
And
go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, that's what turned everything like around and made the chat what it was, because we invited really relevant people each time.
That's great. I can't imagine what your score is on.
Yeah. It's getting really targeted with it. I really like it. That's awesome.
But let me ask you this. This is for the listeners, the small businesses out there that, they're
Don't have much time.
well, no, well, that too. But what I was going to say is when they get on Twitter, it's kind of intimidating because they don't know. It's a totally different animal. My advice has always been, follow people that are interested in what you have to offer. That's why it's highly important not to purchase followers and that type of thing, because they do you no good. Yes, you look cool because you have 100,000 followers, but that does nothing for your business,
Right.
and it's a waste of time. But I wanted to get your take on that, and what is a great strategy for building a
for just small business owners. Let's say it's a cafe and in London, then I would just go and to advanced search, and I would just search for your brand name, or for the word cafe, and then do this geography, like geolocation. So basically, I would search for a cafe in London, and that would give you they would give you a list of people who is talking about that, and then who are talking about that. Sorry. And then also, if you type in your brand name, there's a high chance that people are already talking about you there. And so the most important thing is not posting, but replying to people who already tweeted about you.
Yeah.
So I would say that if you have like 10 minutes a day and not more, then just go there and check for Twitter search, you can check anything. There's Twitter provides you the guidelines of how to hack their search. So that you can exclude something from the search. You can search something from a specific account. You can search within a certain date and with a certain location. So just use that, and then just search for your brand name and for all misspellings and for the colloquial words that are connected with your brand. And then just start conversations, because people will mention you more once they know that you're listening. And this is a very obvious thing to say, but that really works, because if I know that I could make a difference in this world somehow and someone is listening, then I'm willing to contribute. If I know that people are not listening or the brand is not listening, then I would not spend my time just sending feedback to them.
Yeah, that goes to one thing I've mentioned on the show before. A couple Christmases ago, I ordered some gifts from Amazon, and I didn't have time to wrap them, so I paid Amazon to wrap the gifts for me. Right? Like, I get the gifts in the mail, and they literally look like a 3-year-old threw some paper and slapped it across each other and threw a bow on it. You know, it was just terrible. So I got on Twitter. I took a picture of it, got on Twitter, and mentioned, Amazon. Mm-hmm. And not 5 minutes later, Amazon is hitting me up saying, "Oh my goodness, we are so sorry this happened to you." And they took it offline, and they refunded my money for the gift wrapping side of it. And, they took care of me. To me, that was huge, because I spend a lot of money on Amazon, and, something like that to happen, it's just kind of like, oh my God, I can't believe they did that to me.
Yeah.
So it's important to be there. And even if it's something bad that they said about you,
yes, definitely. And 10 times quicker than for positive feedback. Yes.
Yes. And that turns negative into positive.
Yeah.
Every time, just about.
Yeah. Actually, if people shared something negative about you, they want it to change.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then actually it's so easy to change that. You cannot imagine. It's, most of the people, they just believe that, some people are deleting negative comments, but I just love it. That's like the best part of the job for me, because then you get the spectators as well.
Yeah. Right.
And then if the conversation is even with a bit of tension,
mm-hmm.
then you definitely have people that would fight for you as well.
Yep.
So people who would notice the conversation and they would step up for you. That happened a lot.
Yeah.
And it just and the thing is that we acknowledge the mistakes. And we are software, and sometimes things go wrong, and then reports just take too long time to load, and
mm-hmm.
then it just happens, and then we say that we're sorry, and then we just, the most important thing is to tell people that they've been taken care of.
Yeah, some people just want to be heard. That's it.
Yeah.
But I mean, that goes across every platform. It could be a comment on Facebook or anywhere. I mean, it's you need to jump on it. Google businesses pages, get on those reviews, and even if they're negative, make it up. I mean, because those people, other people visiting, like you just said, other people visiting and reading those reviews, and they say, "Oh, they made a comment back and they fixed the situation." That goes a long ways.
Yes.
Yeah. So
very good. Yes. No. One question I have for you, Olga, is one of the first things I do when I start my day is I love to read what's going on in the industry. People, just sites that I trust, I build authority with. One of them is SEMRush. I love the content they put out, always on top of everything. Who do you see, like, who impresses you with social media? What brands, what individuals, who do you see doing social media right, whether it's Twitter, Facebook? Who's really kind of maximizing the potential of those and really doing things, that nobody else is doing, or maybe people should be doing? Okay.
I listen to Social Media Examiner podcast by Mike Stelzner.
Mm-hmm.
And their content is superb. I don't have time to read their blog always, but I do listen to podcasts because, while I drive. And
do you listen to us?
That's
just kidding.
Don't put her on the spot like that.
No, I confess that I listened to you guys before we started the show. So, but with you, I do that mostly on the desktop, actually.
Okay.
So, Social Media Examiner while I drive, and then if I had to choose one iconic leader that I really love, that would be Gary Vaynerchuk.
Mm-hmm.
And I might know. Well, actually, I don't follow him on Twitter, but I love his books. I follow him on Instagram. So it's like different channels for different people for me. And so he's just a great guy because he stayed real all the way to the top. And I love about him. And he's just a great inspiration to me.
Yeah, he's very positive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also he's the great example of the guy who responds on the spot. And he recently they had like a bad publicity with Cannes Lions, and he was so fast on it. It was just amazing how fast he reacted and fixed it. So that's the second persona, and then the third one is Founder Magazine. These guys come from Australia, and their Instagram account is amazing. They're posting entrepreneurial stuff, but they also offer things like, they offer marketing advice on how to market on Instagram, and some pitching tips, some pitching templates for influence marketing, and some just marketing. And they also have a founder club. This is a close community where people help each other, and I believe they're accepting new members if you apply. So that's the brand that you might want to check out if you're into marketing and social media marketing in particular.
Gotcha. Very good. Now I have a question that I know that a lot of social media people are asking, and I've gotten this question quite a bit, is, how do you go when you're doing social media for a company? How is it that you justify yourself, as far as, numbers and that type of thing?
So the measuring social media.
Yes.
Okay. So with SEMRush, that's really easy case. So I wouldn't say that it was just obvious, and it was the channel that basically the channel where we connect to our target audience, and marketers are out there, and it's easy for us to justify, because it's just so obvious. You don't even have to really show the numbers, but we do. So what I set for my team, like, we had 4 main things, and we have a goal to retain our users, so that there's social media. I see the social media as not as acquisition channel, but there is retention. Sure. So we have goal tracking in our Google Analytics, and we have, because we're e-commerce, so we have this money, the conversions basically in Google Analytics, and I can see how many paid accounts interacted with us on social.
Right.
And I want this number to grow. So that would not necessarily mean that we were this last channel that impacted their decision. But if they were not connected to us on social media, and then suddenly they were, that means that, Google Analytics will see that. And so I believe that the more we interact with people, the longer they stay with us. So that's why we have this goal, and we need to see the numbers growing. That's one thing. Then also the audience growth, and that's more not for the management, but that's more for us.
Sure.
And also, I see, the thing that is most important to me now is social media integration into the marketing mix. So I really spent a lot of time last year to integrate social media with customer support. And now our customer support team is on social media, and Twitter and Facebook messages and filtered tweets, they go to Salesforce.
Wow, nice.
Oh, wow.
Salesforce has this option, and it's actually free on our plan, I believe. Or I don't know about Salesforce. I just use that to some extent. But so our developers did that, and now our customer support has it as a separate case.
Yeah, and social Salesforce also has a social monitoring tool. I don't know if you knew that, but it's pretty huge.
Yeah, and this, I guess, was a paid option.
Yeah, it's very expensive.
Yes. So that's why I just asked our manager, and then they said that, okay, this is what you can get now. And I decided to start with this. And actually within I think half a year or even less, like 600 cases were handled.
Wow.
And so it was a really great number just to see that, okay, it's working.
Yeah.
So what we see is very important is that we support all the events, we support all the webinars, we support PR, we support content, we support everything that our team does. And so we will report at the end of the quarter, like what % of the events the social media team supported out of all the events organized by SEMRush. Events meaning like posts, conferences we attended, and webinars we hosted.
Nice. Now, we had Michael Stricker on here before he left SEMRush, but I never got to ask him this question. Where is SEMRush based?
We have 4 offices worldwide now. So we are based in Philly, in US. And so that's where sales and part of marketing is based. Then I'm talking to you from St. Petersburg, Russia. Yeah. And we have developers in marketing here. And we also have offices in Cyprus and Prague, which mainly developers as well. Wow.
So you get to travel a lot?
Yeah, and it was actually, it felt like a marathon. And I was back last week, I think. And it was intense, and we travel a lot around Europe, and our US team travels a lot within US, so we kind of divided the world.
Wow, very nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, so I appreciate you being up late. I know it's 11, almost 11 o'clock there.
Pleasure.
I'd be passed out by now, so you're doing good.
Yeah. Let's see. What else? You got anything else?
Yeah. So one of the big things that I kind of my background in the industry is content marketing, and a lot of people talk about connecting with influencers to promote your content. There's all sorts of things you can open up if you build a relationship with an influencer, and a lot of people like to use social media as that avenue. So how would you initiate that engagement with an influencer? Is that even something you should be, attempting to do? And how is that going to benefit you if you can be successful at it?
She does it a lot.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We use social media for that. But again, it's, I use social media the way that if I feel that if a person was in the same room with me, and I would not be really approaching someone for my own personal gain only.
Yeah.
And so that would mean that if I want to connect with influencer on social media, then I would actually first get to know the person, then, discover more about him or her, and then find how I can be helpful, and then, ask something in return if I may.
Right.
So that's how I believe we approach influencers. So that's genuine human connections.
Yeah.
And
such a good person.
Well, no, I think you hit it. I've heard several influencers talk about how they just get, people just outreach to them constantly, and their inbox gets to get flooded, their social media gets flooded and stuff like that, and there's none of the real genuine wanting to help them or connect with them. There's none of that there. It's just, hey, check this out. Hey, check this out kind of thing. So I think you bring up a fantastic point, is that, if you really have to, it's a real relationship where you have to get to know them. And if you can provide anything that would be helpful to them, that's going to be very beneficial for them, for you, and for the entire thing.
A good example is this show. We have a lot of influencers on the show, but it's not for a personal gain. It's because we want to help other people.
Absolutely, yes.
And it's kind of a win-win situation for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, people pay, to go to, SMX or something like that. They pay thousands of dollars to see these people talk. And
right.
This gives them the opportunity for the people that can't afford or know about it to get this information.
We cheat the system. Fight the power. Yes.
Yeah.
Internet ruined it in some way.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But we're down to about 10 minutes. Is there something you wanted to add?
About anything or about influences?
Particularly social media.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, no, social media. Yeah. I mean, I feel like there's a lot happening within that. There's a lot of advancements. There's within the next 3 to 5 years. I feel like it can be almost completely changed. Is there anything you see that could be saying that, hey, things are going to be shifting, or you should be looking out for, or anything of that nature?
I'd suggest marketers just look more at how their friends are using social media, and not only their audience, because and also if you have someone who is 15 or 16, you might want to go to this person and ask him to show his phone just to see what apps this person has. Yeah. And then also, ask some tips about Snapchat because because people, they will be, maybe they might be your customers within like a certain amount of years, and they're processing information, and they're like getting used to new technology a lot faster. Right. So it's actually just a bit beneficial to learn from young now, and I actually thought that I might want to share some tools that I use.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Because visual is really huge, not only like videos, but pictures. I use, Canva is the obvious one, but I am an advocate of another one that's called Snappa. That's SNAPPA.io. And that has a free, Snappa has a free version and also the paid version, which is like $10 per month. But what's great is that it has like loads of images, free images that you can use, and also the ready-made designs. And if Canva designs are pretty, you can spot if the design was made in Canva. Then in Snappa, it's really not that obvious. And they're really creative, and the toolkit is superb. And they're developing and really fast. So I use them a lot, and I really love them. And so that's the tool that I use for the video apps. I recently downloaded a few ones, the Boomerang thing and other ones that again obvious. But there's Viva Video that's just also really easy to.
How's that spelled?
VIVA
like
video.
Okay.
Yeah. And then it has also it has a built-in music and also some effects, and it's just a cool thing, like really really easy to make. So I suggest that you check this out. Yeah. And then I have a tool called Tweetbinder, which we mainly use for Twitter, but it can be used for Instagram. And what it does, it basically analyzes keywords or hashtags, and we use that for Twitter chat analysis. Nice. And what it could be, for example, there is a search talk live hashtag, and you can run the report on Tweetbinder within a certain date, and then there is an export function on a paid plan. Again, but so you can export and see the list of people who tweeted that and interact with them. And that really worked with, for example, you go to SMX and you didn't have time to engage with all the people who were there, but you can run the report and then you get this list, and then you can basically engage with people afterwards.
Very nice.
Huh. That's very cool. 3 tools I have not yet heard of. I like it. Very nice.
And did you use anything like Mention or anything for?
We use BuzzSumo mostly, And this is an amazing tool. And in my latest presentation at SASCON in Manchester, I shared 3 or 4 screenshots within 15 slides. And yeah, it's an amazing tool. I have daily tracking, I use it for keyword SEMRush with some of SEM, then Rush with, it's just, I use different variations of the brand name, and also I have alerts set for my own mentions. And so basically that goes to my inbox, so I don't have to spend time logging into the tool, so I can really check that within my email.
Cool.
And the tool that actually costs a lot but is really worth it if you're into social media, like really, really deeply into social media, that's Rival IQ. That's a competitive analysis tool.
What is it called?
Rival.
Rival.
Rival IQ.
IQ.
Rival, like competitor.
Yeah.
Rival and IQ.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So they have amazing insights, and they offer 2 weeks for free. So even if you're not planning to use this tool for a long time, then it's worth just to getting the idea about the market that you were in. And also it's great for content curation. Let's say travel company competes with other travel companies, but airplane companies are also relevant, so they can set up the landscape for the airplane companies and check the most popular content they have on social media, and they can take this content and post to their pages because it's obviously something that their audience might be interested in.
Oh, very cool. And then also you mentioned follower wonk too. You use that.
Yes, I use that.
Nice. Well, we're about out of time. I want to thank you so much for being on the show. It's been great, and I appreciate you staying up late and being on the show with us.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. And
it's an absolute pleasure.
What's the weather like over there?
It was sunny.
Oh, is it?
Yes, it was like 20 degrees and sunny.
Wow.
Oh, man.
That's cold.
Yeah.
We're in Florida, so.
Yeah, it's 100 degrees and sweltering here, so.
Okay, 20 degrees Celsius, so I don't know what's in Fahrenheit.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah,
okay, that makes difference.
That's like 50 or something.
Yeah. A little warmer, still. Feels better than here.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much. And guys, I want to thank everybody for listening to Search Talk Live. Go visit searchtalklive.com. Sign up for the newsletter. We've got a special guest next week.
We got Keith Good.
Keith Good. Yep.
Yes, he is the chief SEO evangelist for SEO Clarity. So that'll be a fantastic show next week. If you want to check out this show, if you didn't get to check out the whole thing, our interview with Olga Andrienko, the social media expert and head of social at SEMRush, you can do so. We'll be tweeting that out here pretty shortly after the show, or you can check it out on Sprecher, iTunes, or go to Search Talk Live, and you can see it there. Plenty of places. We love to put it everywhere, so more eyes, more ears, everything like that. But yes, awesome show today. We appreciate Olga for being on the show. Yeah, if you like the show, please go to Sprecher or our website and give us a thumbs up. Yeah. We appreciate that. Yep. And like I said, you can listen to previous shows and tune in next week. We're gonna talk SEO geek stuff again. Yes. And let's see, Caleb, you're not going to be in next week, are you? I will not. No, that's what we're planning for. So I'll be missing. I know you have Matt Weber. Yep. From Roar Marketing here in Orlando will be joining us. He was on the show earlier. Awesome, very knowledgeable, always great to have on the show. So he'll be filling in for me. I appreciate him doing that. Yes, congratulations on the baby. Thank you. I know it's a little early, but I want to be the first to say it. I appreciate it. I know your wife's probably ready to... Man, she is ready to go. She is ready to go. Yeah. All right, thanks a lot, everyone. Thanks for your support. And catch us on Twitter. I'm at Robert O'Haver on Twitter, and you're at CJ_MCE. Or you can just hit us up on @SearchTalkLive. There you go. Shoot an email out to Olga. Tell her thank you for giving all her valuable information to everyone. I know I will. And thanks again, guys. See you next week. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Search Talk Live is a presentation of the Robert Palmer family of companies.